of Beijing. In other words, a section within Beijing that is the old town. And I always like to visit those old places. So one place that I'm at right now, it's called the Hoxie Street, which is about, and I'm gonna walk you through all this. It's up 600 meters long. And this goes back to the Ming Dynasty. So it was called at that time Shangotzi. So my apologies if I mispronounce the Chinese name. So that's what it was called back then. And it was named after Shango Temple. So that's the equivalency of the new, there are some passengers here. So Shangu Temple was built in the Yuan Dynasty. That's how old this part of town. That's why I was so attracted to it, because I wanted to share this with you. So it was renamed, and I'm gonna, once again, my apologies if I mispronounce it. It was called the Danlongshan Hugo Temple, or Hugyo Temple. And this in the Qinghua period. And the Qinghua period was during the Ming Dynasty. That's how far back it goes. And this street, that's when it was built. So, and of course, they changed the name later on to what is called modern day today, the temple. So that's what it's known for. And in the streets are like an important sort of cultural resources, historical sites. And so because it was the former residence of the somebody by the name of Mei Lanfang. So, and that's also it included the People's Theater. And so in 2011, the Beijing Municipal Commission of Commerce, that's why they established this feature as a commercial street. So I'm gonna walk you through the streets here. Let me switch the, there we go. So we're gonna take a long walk. It's about 600 meters. Then I'll go on the other side and show you a few things. So just to let you know, I'm gonna cover in this talk, beside the historical aspects, I'm gonna talk about 2 or 3 topics. One of them is Yemen, second one is Turkey, and third one is Venezuela. So I'm gonna give you a sort of rundown exactly of what's going on. I'm keeping up with all this, and I also want you to stay informed, even though and I'm also, of course, is going to talk about the final communique of the SCO. I had a chance to listen to President Xi Jinping words. They were, oh man, they were so measured and poignant, and the message was loud and clear. So sort of, they don't care what the U.S. whether the U.S. gets it or not. It doesn't matter. But anyway, in any event, I'm gonna be talking about this. Suffice it to say, I'm walking in the old street. If you can tell, there are no sort of high-rising buildings. And I was this morning, I went to the financial district within Beijing, which is about 3 locations. They have 3 financial districts within the same area. So somebody pointed that to me. He was watching me looking for the directions, and he said, where you want to go? I said, I heard about the financial district. He said, yeah, there are 3 of them here. So it was very interesting. But this part of town here, it's a very laid back. This is, again, where the beauty of Beijing, in my opinion, is. It's the mixture of the old civilization and the modernization that China has achieved. You still can have both ways. When you visit Beijing, you can stay, of course, in the elegant 5-star hotels and all that. Or you can, like I do, I prefer sometimes to see the old sections of town. I've always liked this. It's like in when I was in Shanghai, I had to go to Qibao. And Qibao is way back in time. So I know the light in here, guys, it's not that clear, but again, there's only the regular street light in here, but it won't matter. So the idea of you're gonna get to see, let me switch this one back up, and you get to see the streets. We're gonna get into where there are more lights, so I'm gonna just walk over here. Suffice it to say, I'm gonna start with talking about the SCO final communique. So the key thing that I get out of this speech by President Xi Jinping was that enough of this unipolarity, because the world has decided to move on. And the role that China is going to be playing into this is going to be very substantive. I'm still wondering what kind of role that China is going to play, because it has to play a role into this. And without it, there is no multipolarity, because what other country can you think of as far as its economic